this way. Indeed.
Lady Central, you just mention where it is.
Could you tell me about your relationship with Lord Marple?
Excuse me, may I have your autograph, please?
Of course.
Oh, thank you, Lady Sedgwick. I told you it was. Break a leg. Bertram's Hotel is...
Now. You don't want any accidents. Good. After you, madam. Someone will get your luggage. Miss Scorange will see to you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, just a minute.
No, madam. That's all right. Enjoy your stay now.
Oh, I shall. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon. My name is Marple, and I think my nephew...
Of course. Welcome to Bertram's, Miss Marple. Or rather, welcome back. I gather from your nephew you've stayed here before.
Only when I was a little girl.
I don't think you'll find it much change.
No, indeed. It's quite remarkable, isn't it?
Put you in room 57. It's nice and quiet. Oh, if you'll just sign.
Thank you very much.
Sign.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Hello? So you'd like tea served in your room? Certainly, madam. I'll send someone up.
Oh, James, thank you. Will you take Miss Marple up to room 57? Thank you. I hope you'll become...
I do believe that's old Jane Marple. She looks 100.
Just getting out.
Oh, thank you, Colonel Laskin.
Good afternoon, Colonel.
Hello, Humphreys.
How'd you get on at Newbury yesterday?
Oh, don't ask. That filly of Harry Waddle's was hopeless.
Oh, what about Swanhilda?
Tailed off. Obviously not fit yet. Disastrous day. Well, I can't hang about. I've got to meet my ward at the airport. From Italy. Been finished. Whatever that may mean. Just hope I recognize her.
Bess Sedgwick's just arrived.
Has she?
Canon Pennyfather.
Upon my soul, if it isn't my dear old friend...
Jane Marple.
What a pleasant surprise. Well, let's see now. When did we last meet? Didn't you come down to Chadminster for tea last summer?
Well, I did, but I...
Oh, yes, I remember now. I double-booked you with the bishop.
Oh, it didn't matter.
I'm afraid my memory's not what it was.
Mine's just as bad.
Never, I'm sure. Yours is as razor-sharp as ever.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you. Well, if you'll excuse me.
Yes, we must have a good powwow sometime. I'm going to Lucerne on Wednesday, a congress on biblical history. I shall be back the following day, or rather night, and I shall be around tomorrow, off and on.
Oh, well, I shall hope to see you then.
Oh, goodbye for the present.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you.
Uncle Derek?
Elvira, my dear. Well, well. This is nice. Did you have a good journey?
Yes, thank you.
And how was Italy?
Fine.
Is that your lot over there?
Yes. I'll just go and tell Miss Carpenter you're here. Until tomorrow.
Real muffins. Never would have thought it.
Do you know, when I was living in America last year, they had what they called muffins on the breakfast menu. But they weren't muffins at all. They were just tea cakes with raisins.
Oh. The Americans have a lot to answer for.
And are you still living at dear St. Mary Mead?
Oh, yes.
Good God. Cicely Longhurst. She's dyed her hair again. Such a sweet, simple village. I suppose it hasn't changed at all.
Well, no, not quite. We have the new council estate, and of course, some of the shops aren't quite what they were, but one has to accept change.
Progress, they call it. Though I often think it isn't progress at all. I mean, take these smart plumbing fixtures they have nowadays. Every shade of colour. But do they really pull? Or push come to that?
Oh, right.
Bess Sedgwick. Of all places.
I do hope you won't find Bertram's too stuffy. It is rather old-fashioned. A lot of old fogies. Still, it is only for the one night.
Only one night? Am I going to Cousin Mildred's tomorrow?
Yes, in the afternoon. She's a good sort. I hope you'll be happy with them.
I'm sure it'll suit them fine.
Jolly good.
For the time being.
Scrumptious. Now that's what I call a real donut.
Madame?
Extraordinary girl. I've known her since she was a child, and no one could handle her then. She ran off with one of the grooms, once, when she was only 16. No, they managed to buy him off and marry her safely off to old Coniston. Awful old rip, but dotty about her. That didn't last. Then she married an American yacht owner. Divorced within a year. Then she upped and offed with Johnny Sedgwick. I suppose that might have stuck if he hadn't broken his neck steeplechasing.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes. And since then?
Oh, one loses count. Thank you. I don't think she's ever married again. But there's always someone. She's the sort of woman who always needs a man.
Oh, do you think so? Yeah. I would have said that men were more of an adventure to her than any. And what brings you up to town, Selina?
I went to see some man in Harley Street about my arthritis.
Oh, and what did he do?
He took me by the neck and wrung it like a chicken.
Oh, good gracious.
Extraordinary. I can look over my right shoulder for the first time in years. Oh, there's old Dickie Ludgrove. You know, Justice Ludgrove.
Good afternoon, my lord. Tea's
You
being served.
heard what happened to him last time he was here.
No.
My dear, he nearly got arrested.
Oh.
You remember that big bank robbery some while ago?
Well, which one? Because there have been so many lately.
The London and Metropolitan one.
Oh, you mean the Carmody Street branch?
Yes,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
apparently some probation officer saw old Dickie near the scene of the crime and behaving suspiciously, except, of course, he wasn't him. He was staying here at Bertram's and was in court all morning. But I imagine if he hadn't had an alibi, a man in his position.
Oh, and did they find the other man, his double?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, how interesting.
Well, the police seem incapable of solving anything these days.
Anything further I can get you, my lady? We're serving very good seed cake today.
Seed cake? Lovely, Henry. I haven't had seed cake since God knows when. How about you, Jane?
Is it real seed cake?
Oh, yes, madam. The cook has had the receipt for years.
Please.
Do you still see my mother?
Occasionally.
Where is she now?
Abroad.
Whereabouts?
I'm not entirely sure.
Do you think she'll ever agree to see me?
I really couldn't say, Elvira.
In other words, no.
Selina, haven't seen you since Crafts. How are the Borzois?
Fine. What on earth are you doing here, Bess?
Recovering. I've just been on safari.
But why here?
Someone told me about their gorgeous donuts. I thought it'd be quite amusing.
This is my ward.
Welcome. Hello. Excuse me, I just remembered something.
Excuse me, Miss Orange.
Extraordinary.
Lots of Peebles didn't get a time.
And just as I was about to introduce you.
I expect you'd like to go to your room first, and then a cup of tea, or a drink, perhaps.
A drink would be lovely.
Selina, do you know who that is?
Well,
That man just leaving.
no one in particular.
Surprising. Everyone else seems very much someone in particular.
Well, I suppose we ought to be thinking about your future, Elvira.
Yes.
I'm told a secretarial course is the thing.
Oh, yes. Finishing school, secretarial course, marriage.
Quite. I'm afraid we don't know each other as well as we ought. My fault. Perhaps if I'd had daughters of my own. But I hope if there's anything you want to ask.
There is, actually. Have I any money?
Yes, some. That is, you will have when you're 21.
How much?
Quite a bit.
And you're the trustee?
Yes, along with Richard Edgerton. Naturally, the family's
What happens if I die?
Well, Elvira, what sort of question is that?
Well, only last week that airliner crashed and everyone was killed.
Yes, but that was just a flash in
If I did die, who would inherit my money?
Well, I haven't the least idea.
Would it be worth anyone's while to kill me?
Really, Elvira, this is a most unhealthy conversation.
Who would get my money if I was married?
Well, your husband, I suppose, but...
Are you sure?
No, not altogether. It would depend on the wording of the trust. But since you're not married, I shouldn't bother your pretty head with such a thought. Now, you were asking about your allowance. I believe you want it in advance.
Yes. It's just that my friend Bridget and I thought we'd go and have a look around the shops tomorrow morning.
Fine. Splendid. I'm sure that can be arranged.
Is Lady Sedgwick staying here?
Are you with the press?
No. Rest assured, the name of Bertram's hotel will remain unsullied. She is here, then?
Yes, as it happens. Did you want me to...
No. I only wish to leave a note. Was just checking it was the right hotel.
I may have left it in the writing room, but I'm not quite sure.
We'll go and look for it, lady.
Thank you, Edna. You're always so
My
helpful.
God. Where do they dig them up from?
I'll see that Lady Sedgwick gets your note. And now, if there's nothing else...
You wouldn't be trying to get rid of me, would you? What is the telephone number here? 1129, isn't it?
No, 3925.
That's Regent?
No, Mayfair.
Odd. I could have sworn it was Regent 1129. Arrivederci.
Hardly the Bertram sort.
Chap looked vaguely familiar.
Oh?
I know. Isn't he that racing driver? Johnny smashed himself up a couple of years ago. Fellow with the unpronounceable name.
Ladislaus Malinowski. If you'll excuse me, I'll go up now. I'll see you at dinner.
Yes, of course, my dear. I had thought of getting tickets for a show, but I thought you'd be tired after your journey.
I'd rather watch television. I'm dying to see ITV. I hear it's ghastly.
For you, Colonel.
Thank you, Henry. There is a television room here, is there?
Yes, sir. The Americans like it, but it's tucked well away.
Hello, this is room 43. Could you get me Regent 1129? Hello, Ladislaus. It's me. Yes, you were wonderful. When can we meet? Oh, no, sooner than that, please. I'm dying to see you.
Derek, at last. You got my note then?
I've no idea you were here, Bess, or I'd never have brought her.
Where is she now?
Watching television.
How long are you here for?
Only overnight. I'm taking her to Mildred's tomorrow afternoon.
Why for that?
I'd really no idea, Bess. I'd hate you to think that...
If you were trying to stage a sentimental reunion, I wouldn't put it past you.
I should hope if I was, I'd come straight up with it. Not that it wouldn't be a good idea.
No, Derek.
Hang it, Bess, you are her mother.
She's done very well without me all these years.
I think she feels it, though.
Do you think I don't? Think it was easy giving her up? Thanks for the photographs. She looks just as I hoped she would.
What harm could there be in your meeting now?
Same there always was. She needs protecting.
From what?
From me, you idiot.
I know you were always a bit headstrong.
For God's sake, I'm not safe to be with. I never have been.
Yes, but now that you're getting on a bit, not that you look a day older, of course, but you'll want to settle down eventually.
Settle down to what? Knitting by the hearth? Oh, thank you. When I go, I shall go with a bloody great bang.
We're snap, crackle, and pop. Come on the run and join the fun with Kellogg's Breakfast Musketeers. Now all together, let's give 3 rousing cheers. Hooray, hooray! Kellogg's Rice Krispies at top. They snap, they crackle, they pop. Try Rice Krispies today. They're good for you, so tasty too. We're on our way. Come join Rice Krispies right and there.
It's okay. Coast square.
Next month, Alan Brewster and his team will be attempting to climb Le Diable, Devil Mountain, by the south face. There has only been one successful attempt in the past. That was in 1938, when Sir David Squire led a team up the north face. The team included one woman, the young Bess Sedgwick.
Oh, what a coincidence. She's staying here, you know.
Here? At Bertram's?
Yes.
Are you sure?
We saw her at tea, didn't we, Jane?
Yes, yes, indeed.
Daunting enough for a male.
Extraordinary creature. I knew her as a girl. Quite a handful. Racehorses, power boats, motor rallies. Everything a woman isn't supposed to do. Good luck to her, I say.
Devil Mountain is one of the most treacherous peaks in the Alps. More than a dozen climbers have lost their lives attempting it.
Yes, Sir Humphrey, the heating has been adjusted.
About time.
Good night, Sir Humphrey.
Could I have my key, please?
Just 1 minute, Miss Blake. It is room 43.
Yes. Oh, how silly of me. It was in my bag all the time. Good night. Oh, hello, Uncle Derek. I was just looking for you.
Fed up with watching television?
I thought I'd go up now.
Good. Fine. Well, I'll say good night then.
Good night. And thank you for everything.
Good night, my dear. Sleep well.
Come in. Come in.
Hello. I'm Elvira.
So he couldn't resist it.
Well, Uncle Derek didn't tell me. I found out myself.
Odd.
To meet you.
So now you've met me.
Is that all you can say?
What else is there to say? It's no use pretending we're anything but strangers. You were 2 years old the last time I clapped eyes on you.
Why didn't you take me with you when you left?
Didn't want to be lumbered with a baby. Knew your father would see you were taken care of.
And when he died?
You haven't gone without anything, have you?
Not materially.
I couldn't give you anything else. I'm not the maternal type. I'm sorry, but there it is.
Couldn't we just meet each other from time to time?
There'd be no point.
All these years I've put you on a pedestal. I saw you as a bold, romantic person who loved me deep down.
Well, now you know different.
Yes.
Elvira, you're much better off without me, honestly.
Trust you slept well?
Oh, very well, yes, indeed. As well as one can at my age. It's a very comfortable bed.
Ah, yes, now that's what all our guests say.
Oh, yes.
There.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Now, is everything to your liking, madam?
Oh, it looks delicious. All piping hot, the eggs properly poached. Really, it seems too good to be true.
Not hungry?
Not awfully.
Oh, you'll have to make up for it at lunchtime. I'll drop you off. You and your friend can do your shopping, and then we'll meet up at Prunier's before we go down to Cousin Mildred's.
Fine.
Nothing the matter, is there?
I saw her last night.
Oh? Who?
You know.
Ah. Did you make yourself known to her?
Yes. But it was no good.
Good morning. I'll see you down here in about half an hour, then.
Good afternoon, Miss Marple. I mean, good morning. Off shopping?
I shall be presently, yes.
I'm bound for the Athenaeum myself. Oh, no, that's tomorrow. Where am I going today? Oh, yes, I know. The British Museum.
Oh.
That's it, I think. Oh, I nearly forgot.
Thank you, Canon. Have a pleasant day.
Thank you.
Oh, good morning, Rep. Here we are. God bless. Mind yourself now.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My God. Mickey Gorman. It can't be.
I recognized you when you arrived yesterday.
It's more than I did you.
People seldom notice the man behind the uniform. Well, well, little Bessie.
Oh, don't use that revolting name.
Didn't think it so revolting then.
What have you been up to all these years?
This and that?
I bet.
I know all about your doings. Aren't my fishing ships wrapped in them more often than not? It's been a long time.
It certainly has.
A lovely slip of a girl you were.
I've worn a damn sight better than you. Still hitting the bottle, I suppose?
It's easy to wear well when you're in the money.
No, money wouldn't have done you any good. You'd have gone to the dogs completely. How on earth did you get taken on in this place?
'Twas the medals clinched it.
I'm sure.
Genuine, too, in case you're wondering.
I wasn't. You never lacked courage. The army must have suited you.
Army's all right in wartime, but no good in peace. I've thought of writing to you, you know.
What for?
I've not forgotten Ballygowlan.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just reminding you.
If you mean what I think you do, then listen, chum. You start raking all that up and I'll shoot you for the rat you are.
Ooh. I do believe you would, too.
Oh, I would.
Mr. Humphreys? In his office, Lady Sedgwick. Shall I?
I want a word with you.
Please sit
Who
down.
engaged that man, Michael Gorman?
I did. Parfit left. He was in a car accident. We had to replace him quickly. Gorman seemed all right. Ex-army, good references, medals.
Medals in more ways than one.
If you insist, we'll give him notice.
Oh, forget it. It's a bit late for that anyway.
What exactly?
I said forget it. The harm's done. Good God, look at the time. It's supposed to be in Kensington.
Taxi, madam.
Well, no. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going by bus.
Oh, no, madam. You don't want to go on buses at your time of life. All that jolting and jerking could do you a damage. I'll whistle up a taxi, and you shall travel like a queen.
Oh, but very well, yes.
Where to, madam?
The Army and Navy stores, please.
Derry and Tom's and quick.
There's the aristocracy for you. Here we are, madam. Mind the step now.
Yes.
Army and Navy stores.
On second thoughts, driver, I'd like to go to Derry and Tom's, please. Thank you.
Ever thought of shinning down from the roof gardens?
About time.
Perhaps we should try it sometime.
Aren't we living dangerously enough? Why were you so late?
Something came up at Bertram's. Which reminds me, what the hell were you doing there yesterday?
Checking you'd arrived?
Bloody fool. You know damn well you're not supposed to be seen there.
Why not? Everyone knows we're friends.
You had another reason for coming, didn't you?
What a nasty, suspicious mind you have.
I know you, lousy. Probably some wretched woman.
Now, why should you think that?
With you, there's always a woman.
I'd know better than to do it on the hallowed steps of Bertram.
Did you? No wonder. Might give you a kick.
How well you know me, Beth.
Steer clear.
Okay. I've got the message. Now can we talk about tomorrow?
So everything's set?
Yes.
You've checked the weather forecast?
Of course.
But how on earth will you manage, Elvira? It'll be utterly drears for you stuck down there.
We managed in Italy, didn't we? Cousin Mildew will be a cinch after old macaroni.
Oh,
I'll pretend to come up to London for classes and things. The Tate and all that jazz.
Can I help you, madam?
We're just looking, thank you. Now, about tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
I've got to get away for 24 hours without anyone noticing.
You mean with him?
No such luck.
Where then?
I can't tell you, but I've simply got to. There's something I have to find out. I need your help, Biddy.
What sort of help?
I've got it all worked out. When I get there, I'll tell Cousin Mildew I've got a dental appointment in town tomorrow and I have to leave first thing. Then, round about 11 o'clock, you ring her up pretending to be your mother.
Oh, Lord.
Well, you can do your Lady Bracknell. Tell Cousin Mildew I'll be spending the night with you, as the dentist wants to see me again. Please, Biddy.
Is it really desperagus?
Yes, it is. It's a matter of life and death.
Tralla, a most unattractive old thing, Tralla, with a caricature of a face, a caricature of a face.
Bonsoir, monsieur, madame. C'est un plaisir de vous voir. Will you show monsieur and madame Cartier to table number 2?
French. I heard them at tea time asking for Le Foro Club. Oh, and there's Mrs. Dalrymple up from Somerset. How on earth can she afford to stay here? And isn't that Admiral Ponsonby? No, it isn't. Do you know for a moment I could have sworn it was?
Well, they say that everyone has a doppelganger.
Extraordinary.
Tell me, Selina, did Bess Sedgwick have any children by Lord Coniston?
Now you mention it, there was a baby. He had custody.
A daughter?
Yes. She must be quite grown up by now.
Ah, that explains it.
It explains what?
Almost everything.
Goodbye, Ma. See you later.
Good morning. May I speak to Mrs. Melford, please? Oh, hello. This is Monica Sotheby. My daughter, Bridget, is a friend of Elvira's. Yes, they are. Very good friends. Actually, I'm phoning on Elvira's behalf. Would it be all right if she spent the night with us?
There. Oh, my dear.
Well, after a long search. You know, it's almost impossible now to find ones that aren't covered in baby lambs or radishes or Nelson on his column. Oh, and I also treated myself to a handkerchief sachet.
Oh, how pretty.
My old one had fallen to bits. Well, I'd had it ever since I was a girl, you know.
Oh, the things I used to hide in my handkerchief sachet. Photographs, love letters, diaries.
Oh, yes. I once kept a Valentine card in mine for years, given to me by a young man called Lionel Mattingly.
Romance, Jane? What happened?
Oh, nothing. Mother nipped it in the bud.
You mean you never saw him again?
Oh, indeed, yes. I came across him years later. And, of course, Mother was absolutely right. A young girl needs a mother's watchful eye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Off to Lucerne now, Canon.
Yes. At least no. I shall be spending the afternoon at the Athenaeum. I shall be going straight to the air terminal from there.
Well, enjoy the conference.
Thank you. I'll be back tomorrow night or first thing the following morning, depending on flights.
Don't worry. We'll keep the room for you. The next booking isn't until Saturday.
When I've left most of my things, just taking this.
Excuse me while I answer that.
Yes. Goodbye.
Benny, Father. Hello there.
Dr. Whittaker, how are you?
I haven't seen you since that lecture on the Dead Sea Scrolls. Surprised to find you're not at the Lucerne Congress.
Oh, I am. Or rather, I shall be. I'm off to catch my plane now. Afraid I can't stop.
But surely. What date is the Congress?
Tomorrow, the 19th. I'll let you know if anything crops up.
Oh, my dear chap.
Well, see you at dinner, Jane.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Oh, there's Dolly Ledbetter. Dolly!
Oh. Oh, hello, me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh,
Oh, that is a handsome pattern.
oh, do you think so?
Ah.
Oh, I am glad. You know, I wasn't quite sure. It's for my nephew. He's treating me to a fortnight here.
Oh, very nice.
Yes. He originally thought of Bournemouth, but I stayed at Bertram's with an aunt as a child, and I've never forgotten it.
Has it changed much?
No. That's the queer thing. At first, you know, it seemed wonderful, stepping right back into the past, but it should have changed, shouldn't it? Just like St. Mary Mead. I mean, one might not like the new school buildings, but it's a sign of the times. And the essence of life is going forward.
Oh, quite.
Even though it appears to be backward. Yes, Bertram seems to me... I don't know. Why do I keep thinking the same thing?
What thing?
That it's almost too good to be true. Is that why you're here?
I beg your pardon?
Well, you are a policeman, aren't you? Oh, I'm so sorry. Was it meant to be a secret?
Good evening, sir.
I'm checking in for the flight to Lucerne.
Your ticket, please, sir, and your passport.
Oh, yes.
Smoking? Thank you, sir.
Oh, how did that get there?
I'm sorry, sir. This seems to be the wrong ticket.
Oh, no, that's it. Flight 200 and something or other. Where are my glasses?
It's the date, sir. This ticket is dated the 18th. Today is the 19th.
Oh, but that's impossible. That would mean my plane went yesterday.
Yes, sir.
And the conference took place today?
Thank you.
Bertram's.
That's Sir Ronald. Just a hunch.
Your bloody hunches.
That was the Carmely Street robbery and all the confusion with Justice Ludgrove and him staying at Bertram's.
You surely do... Water?
Oh, please, Sir Ronald.
You surely don't think old Dickie Ludgrove's running a crime syndicate between sittings?
No. It's just something nagging at the back of my mind.
Which is why you've been hogging muffins at Bertram's. Cheers.
Can't explain it. Nice, respectable hotel. Impeccable clientele. It's just, well, almost too good to be true. To coin a phrase.
Can I help you, sir?
Oh, a table for one, please.
You can choose anyone you like.
Oh, thank you. I'll have that one by the heater. It's chilly out.
A very good night for a curry.
And I've just had rather a shock, too.
Oh, dear. I'm sorry to hear that. Perhaps you would like a drink.
Right, Bert. I'm going off now.
Good night.
Ah, there you are.
Thank the Lord I kept my room on. That's all I can say.
Indeed, sir. Looking for accommodation in London is no joke.
No.
And it must have been a terrible disappointment to you to miss so great a conference.
Entirely my own fault. I tend to get confused these days.
It is the pace of life.
I rather feared it was senile decay.
Oh, no, sir. Since I came to London, I also am sorely confused.
Doctor.
Good morning, madam.
Oh, good morning.
Lady Selina is over here.
Oh, yes. Oh. Of course. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Jane. Have you heard the news?
What news? Good morning.
There's been another robbery during the night. I heard it on the wireless. I was just telling Bess.
Oh, and what this time?
The Irish mail train.
Apparently they held it up and nabbed all the special mail bags while the passengers were asleep.
Got away with a small fortune. They think it was the same gang as last time.
Was anyone injured?
No, only trussed and gagged.
Got to hand it to them. Clever blighters. Henry, could I have some more toast, please?
My lady.
Hello, Biddy. It's me. I'm back. Yes, I did find out. No, it wasn't all right. Listen, can you ring Cousin Mildew and tell her I won't be back till this evening? But I've got to see someone urgently. And then I'm going to see you know who. Well, use your initiative.
The last time I saw you, you were about 10 years old. How old are you now? 16? 17?
I'm nearly 20.
I had no idea. Derek Luscombe always talks about you as if you were still...
I know, but I'm not a child, Mr. Edgerton.
No. Well, let me see. You have been away in Italy, haven't you? Finishing?
Yes.
And what next?
I'm not sure. I suppose, as one of my trustees, you'd have to agree to anything I did want.
Yes? Is there something then?
Not at the moment.
Then why are you here?
Well, it's just... no one ever tells me things.
You mean things about yourself?
Yes. Well, Uncle Derek's very kind, but I'm tired of being shielded. I thought perhaps you might treat me like an adult.
What is it you want to know, Elvira?
Doing some sightseeing, madam?
Yes, we thought we'd go to the Tower of London.
Very close to my station. Why might say so. There you are. There you are. God bless you, sir. Enjoy yourselves now.
So, I'm really quite rich.
You'll be very rich indeed when you're 21. Until then, it's in the hands of your trustees.
Unless I marry before then.
That would alter the situation, yes.
If I was married and died, I suppose my husband would get my money, would he?
Yes.
And if not?
It would go to Lady Sedgwick as your closest relative.
Close.
She's still your mother, Elvira.
Good morning.
Colonel Luscombe, please.
We will be able to see each other, won't we?
Of course.
I mean, often. I can come up to town whenever you want.
We mustn't go taking stupid risks.
For you, I'd risk anything.
I'll drop you at the station.
Next time I'll borrow Cousin Mildred's car. I wish I didn't have to go.
Me too.
If only we could be together all the time.
One day.
Promise.
You mustn't miss your train.
Promise.
I promise.
Goodbye, Jane. You will keep in touch, won't you? And perhaps one of these days I'll visit dear St. Mary Mead again. Oh, do, please. There.
Goodbye, Lady Selina. Safe journey.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Ah, Miss Gorringe, I'm back. I've come to see Lady Sedgwick. She is expecting me.
One moment, Colonel. Alice, would you put me through to Lady Sedgwick, please? Ah, Lady Sedgwick. Miss Gorringe speaking. I have Colonel Luscombe here. Certainly. Would you care to go up to his suite, Colonel? It's number 2, first floor.
Thank you.
Oh, forgive me. You don't know me. At least we've nodded to each other. I was staying here when you were here last week.
Oh, yes.
Yes. With your niece, was it?
My ward.
Oh, yes. Well, I wondered if I could have a word with you. In private. Thank you. I didn't feel I could tell Lady Sedgwick in the circumstances.
Oh, why don't we?
Thank you. Well, I do hope you won't think it presumptuous of me. I don't usually interfere in these things, and I wouldn't now if it wasn't for his uncanny resemblance to Basil Twisk.
I beg your pardon.
Someone in my village. A philanderer, if ever there was one.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not
I
quite sure.
thought you ought to know. That is, if you don't know already. Of course, I could be mistaken. He may be a friend of the family.
Oh, madam.
But on the other hand, in that case, why did they pretend not to know each other when he came here last week?
Thank you, Mrs. Cabot. Did you enjoy your visit to the Haymarket last night?
Oh, yes, indeed. Such a cute little theater that is. I said to Elmer, can't you just picture Henry Irving walking across that stage?
Bertram's Hotel at your service. Oh, yes. What name shall I say, madam? It's for you, Miss Gorringe. And Mrs. McCrae. She says she's Canon Pennyfather's housekeeper.
Hello, Mrs. McCrae. Miss Gorringe here. I'm so glad you've rung. No, that's what I was about to ask you. We expected him back the day before yesterday. We've had no word from him, and his luggage is still here. Yes, it is. Of course, we know the Canon is apt to be a little, well, forgetful at times. I'm sure he'll be in touch. Indeed, I will, and I'd be grateful if you'd do the same. Meanwhile, we put his cases in the baggage room. Not at all. Goodbye, Mrs. McCrae.
You are an old fusspot, Derek.
It was Richard Edgerton put the wind up me. He phoned me as soon as she'd left his office. Said he felt sure there was a man involved.
It'd be surprising if a girl as attractive as Elvira hadn't got a boyfriend.
Some decent young chap, perhaps, vetted by myself or Mildred. But I'm afraid Edgerton was right.
You know who it is, then?
I do now. Some well-meaning old biddy downstairs saw them in the park together a couple of days ago. You're not going to like this, Bess.
Oh, this is room 57. And I should like a telephone number, please. Chadminster 520. Yes. Thank you. Oh, Mrs. McCrae? Oh, this is Jane Marple speaking. Yes. Oh, how clever of you to remember. Oh, yes, very well, thank you. I'm staying at Bertram's Hotel. Yes, quite. That's why I'm ringing. I do hope you don't think I'm interfering, Mrs. McCrae, but I think you should report his disappearance to the police at once.
I hope you don't mind my dragging along behind you, Inspector Campbell.
Not in the least, sir.
It's just that I've got an interest in Bertram's Hotel, quite beyond your missing clergyman.
As long as I know what the form is, sir.
Oh, don't you worry, I shan't butt in. Oh, by the way, there's no need to call me sir while we're here. Just treat me as your stooge.
Yes, sir. As you wish.
Not at all. It's a pleasure. Goodbye.
Good afternoon, madam. I telephoned earlier. Police.
Would you mind keeping your voice down?
Sorry.
Would you fetch Mr. Humphreys, please?
You'll be Miss...
Gorringe?
Detective Inspector Campbell. And this is my assistant.
Well, we've met before. I've had tea here once or twice.
Oh, yes.
Well, I'm very partial to your muffins.
We'd like to talk to you about Canon Pennyfather.
You'd better come into the office. Will you take over, Alice? I do hope it won't get into the Sunday papers that he's missing, that is, or at any rate, that they won't mention Bertram.
Hello, Bessie.
I told you not to use that god-awful name.
It was good enough for you back in Ballygowden.
Please, will you get out of my way?
Where are you off to in such a hurry?
To sort out another rat.
No, don't be like that. I was wondering if we couldn't have a little chat sometime.
So you can try to screw some money out of me? I warned you the other day.
You got me all wrong, Bessie.
Have I?
If it's money I was after, there's others around here I've got more on than you.
All right. So Canon Pennyfather left here at approximately 2:30 p.m. on Wednesday last, the 19th.
That is correct.
He had with him a small overnight bag and left in a taxi for the Athenaeum Club.
The Commissioner will verify that.
And he should have returned here late the following evening.
Or first thing next morning.
Was it a little BOAC bag that he had with him? One of their little blue bags? Oh, it is blue, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, I thought so. I used to have a similar one.
And the rest of his luggage is still here.
In the baggage room. 2 suitcases.
You've known Canon Pennyfather for some time, haven't you?
Oh, yes. He's been a regular here for years. I'm afraid he's always been absent-minded.
Are you absolutely certain there was no message from him?
Positive.
Yes, Miss Gorringe, what?
Oh, Mr. Humphreys, these are the 2 gentlemen from Scotland Yard. About Canon Pennyfather.
Ah, yes, you rang, didn't you? Extraordinary business. Hope nothing's happened to him. Such a splendid chap. One of the old school.
Inspector Campbell was just asking if he might interview some of the staff.
We'll be pleased to help in any way we can. Who did you want to see, Inspector?
The waiter who attended Canon Pennyfather's table, for one.
Henry will help you there.
Henry?
Our head waiter. A bit of a personality. Sets the tone of the place. Anyone else?
The chambermaid, Rose Shelton.
I'm sure that can be arranged. She'll be on duty at,
5 o'clock, Mr. Humphreys.
Perhaps in the meantime you'd care to have tea in the lounge.
No, I think perhaps we'd
what
better...
a good idea. Who can resist tea at Bertram's? Good afternoon, Miss Marple. Oh, might I have some tea?
Good afternoon.
Mind if I join you?
Oh, God, please do.
Would you like me to?
Oh, would you? Oh, I should be most grateful. There. Thank you.
I believe you know Canon Pennyfather.
Yes. Oh, yes, indeed, yes. His father was a great friend of my uncle, the Canon of Ely.
Was it by any chance you who rang his housekeeper this morning?
Well, yes, I did, yes. Because I felt there was something not quite right. Of course, you see, I realized on Wednesday evening there must have been a muddle.
Wednesday?
Oh, yes. I thought perhaps that he might have missed his plane. That would account for it, wouldn't it?
Account for what?
For his coming back here.
Oh, he came back?
Oh, yes, yes, I saw him.
Well, when did he come back?
Well, I don't know.
But you said just now you saw him.
Well, that must have been later. I wasn't sleeping properly. I was worrying about something else, about a young girl who's staying here, but nothing to do with Bertram's. And yet, maybe, somehow, everything here seems to be, I don't know, of a pattern. What was once so reassuring now seems to be false, menacing even.
But getting back to Canon Pennyfather.
Oh, yes, yes, indeed. Well, I was lying awake, or something woke me, because there are a lot of strange noises in London, and I looked at my little clock, and it said 1:10. And then I heard footsteps in the corridor, and for some reason I felt uneasy. So I opened my bedroom door, And there was Canon Pennyfather, walking towards the stairs with his outdoor coat on.
Was he carrying anything?
No. No, he wasn't.
Interesting.
I thought there must be some connection, you see.
Connection?
Yes, between the Canon's disappearance and whatever it is that's going on here.
All right. So I've seen the girl a few times.
I should have guessed, shouldn't I?
I met her in Italy. When she mentioned she was your daughter,
You thought you'd play her alone.
It did lend an added frisson, yes.
Bastard. Does she know about you and me?
Not as far as I know. Since when were you so interested in the well-being?
Now! She's young and vulnerable. I'm not letting you ruin her life.
Now, would I do that?
Yes. I know what it's like to have your life messed up at that age. From now on, you leave her alone. Do you understand, Lousy?
And if I don't? Oh, no, Bess. We need each other too much.
Then there is something wrong with this place.
Oh, I've no doubt about it.
Poor Bertram's. It's always sad when a work of art has to be destroyed.
Yes.
You know, it's like when you get that weed ground elder in a garden border. There's nothing you can do except dig the whole lot up.
Well, I'm not in a position to start digging anything up yet. The whole operation is managed and financed from here, that I know. Though, I don't know who's masterminding it.
No. I think you're wanted.
You'll have to excuse me, Miss Marple. I've got to go and see the chambermaid. Rose Shelton.
Ah, now you do well to talk to that young woman. I've trained quite a few maids in my time, but I've never seen a bob curtsy like that since the St. Mary Mead Players put on a French farce.
So, you didn't go into his room at all on Thursday?
Yes, I did. I went in as usual. To dust, sir. We dust all the rooms every day. And then I took back his 2 clean shirts as well.
Had the bed been slept in?
No, sir.
What about the bathroom? Any towels been used?
Just a hand towel, sir. He must have washed his hands just before going off the day previous.
But there was nothing to suggest that he had come back to the room late the same night?
Oh, no, sir.
What about his clothes? Were they packed up in cases?
No, sir. They were hanging in the cupboard until Miss Gorringe asked for them to be moved because the room was needed for the new lady, and then I put them in the suitcase.
What about his little blue bag?
I beg your pardon, sir?
His BOAC bag. You must have seen that.
Oh, yes, that. Yes. At least, no. I mean, he'd taken that abroad with him.
Ah, but it didn't go abroad. So he must have left it behind. Or else he came back and left it with the other luggage.
Yes, yes, that's what I think. That I'm not quite sure. I'm sorry, sir.
That will be all, Rose.
Thank you, sir.
Well, they forgot to brief her about that, didn't they? Let's see if they've done any better with Henry.
So you served Canon Pennyfather yourself that morning, Henry?
Supervised the service. I like to keep an eye on our regulars.
And no doubt you exchange a few pleasantries with them.
I consider that part of my job, sir.
Did you converse with Canon Pennyfather?
Yes, sir. We had some discussion about his haddock, and that led on to the parable of the loaves and fishes.
But he said nothing that might indicate a change of plan?
No, sir.
I'm seeing an old missionary I met in Arizona, something like that.
Nothing remotely like that, sir. He told me he wouldn't be here the following morning, as he would be in Lucerne. He was a trifle disparaging about continental breakfasts.
Pendlebury's were absolutely right about this place. It just is old England. I feel as if any minute now, Edward VII will walk right out of those doors. Come here. Be careful with those gates.
Taxi, sir.
Oh, thank you. Police. I believe you put Canon Pennyfather in a taxi last Wednesday afternoon.
That's right, sir. He was going to his club.
Ah, excuse me, sir. Can I have a word with you? We've just had a call from the yard.
Three little maids who quite contrary come from a ladies' seminary. Bum, 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 bum. Three little maids who quite contrary come from a ladies' seminary. Bum, 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 bum. Three little maids who quite contrary come from a ladies' seminary. Three little maids from school.
It's no use, Inspector. I can't remember a thing.
You don't recall being hit by a car?
Afraid not.
Then what makes you think that you were knocked down?
Well, the couple who found me said so. Well, that's what they surmised. How else could I be lying in the road?
With your BOAC bag.
And you've no idea how you came to be in the area of Milton St. John?
Never heard of the blessed place.
Are you quite sure?
As sure as anyone can be in a state of concussion.
Just tell us, Canon, in your own good time, what was the last thing that you do recall?
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
What's that?
What?
You said something about a mirror.
Did I? Well, I can't think why. I'm sorry, you were asking...
The last thing you remember before waking in a strange bed in Milton St. John.
I remember taking a taxi to the air terminal.
And after that?
Not a sausage.
Not, for instance, travelling on a train?
Why should I take a train when I'm supposed to be flying?
An acquaintance of yours, a Mrs. Pierce. She sings in the church choir, I believe.
Oh, I remember her.
She reported seeing you on a train in the early hours of Thursday morning.
A train? What train?
The Irish Mail.
You say she saw him in the Irish Mail train? This Mrs. Pierce?
Seems she woke up when the train stopped, looked out in the corridor, rather as you had done earlier, and saw Canon Pennyfather climbing into the compartment.
She saw him climbing into the train?
Oh, she presumed that he'd climbed down onto the line previously to see what was going on.
And she was sure it was Canon Pennyfather?
Positive. Well, it has a very distinctive appearance.
Yes, like Justice Ludgrove. Well, that was the name of the judge who was implicated in the bank robbery, wasn't it?
There are no flies on you, Miss Marple.
Oh, how very kind of you to say so. And Canon Pennyfather himself remembers nothing about being in the train?
Nothing whatever. There was one thing, though. He muttered something about a mirror. Didn't seem to know why. It sounded like that rhyme from one of those fairy stories. Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Who is the fairest of them all? Yes, Snow White, the wicked stepmother. Yes, mothers and daughters, they do seem to keep cropping up, don't they?
This chap who's courting Lady Sedgwick and her daughter, what's he like?
Oh, about 30-ish. Handsome. But his face is a bad face, predatory. And if Basil Twisk's record is anything to go by...
Basil Twisk?
Yes, he sold insurance in Much Benham, and I'm afraid that's not all he sold. He drove a racing car, too.
Does this chap drive a racing car?
Yes, a red Jaguar. I saw it in the park the other day.
Don't happen to remember the number.
FAN2266.
You sure?
Yes, indeed. Because it made me think of my cousin Fanny, who had a stutter. 266.
Ah.
I've seen it round here, too. I saw it earlier today.
Really?
Do you think he has any connection with the robberies?
Do you, Miss Marple?
Isn't everything to do with Bertram's connected? Oh, I feel so worried about that poor girl. I have a dreadful sense of foreboding. You see, Chief Inspector, in the case of Basil Twisk, there was a death.
Someone tried to kill me. Someone. God. They shot at me. If it hadn't been for him. Is he badly hurt?
Afraid he's had it.
What's happened? I thought I heard shots.
I'm sure it was nothing, Lady Sedgwick. Just a car backfiring, I think.
Elvira?
Oh, Mother!
What's happened?
There's been an attempt on her life.
I was on my way here. And then suddenly there was a shot. A bullet went past my cheek. And then he came running down the road. And the commissionaire. He shoved me behind him. And then there was another shot. And he's dead, Mother.
Mick Gorman?
Did you see whoever it was?
No. He rushed past me into the fog and he must have been hiding in the area below.
Do you know why anybody should want to kill you, Miss Blake?
No. But it isn't the first time they've tried.
Inspector Campbell, sir! Inspector Campbell!
The other day, something else happened. I was on the tube and there were lots of people on the platform. Someone tried to push me onto the rails.
Darling, you were imagining things.
Well, I told myself so at the time, but after this evening...
Steady.
I understood that you were living in Kent. What were you doing up in London?
I came up to meet my friend Bridget Sotheby for lunch. And then we went to a Sunday concert at the Festival Hall. It was foggy when we came out, but not too thick. So I started to drive home. Then it got worse. I thought I'd better not take any risks as it was Cousin Mildred's car. So I wasn't far from here, so I parked and thought I might find a room at Bertram's. I hoped I might see Mother again, too.
Did you see or hear anyone near you?
I heard footsteps behind me, but there are a lot of people walking about in London.
Yes?
Excuse me, sir. I thought you'd want to see this.
Oh, thank you. Sorry about this. Miss Blake, do you know anybody of the name of Ladislaus Malinowski?
The racing car driver? No, I don't.
You do, of course, Lady Sedgwick.
Oh, Lord, yes. We've been chums for years. Why?
I see. So I drove this feeble-minded clergyman from Bertram's to Bedhampton, and the two of us then proceeded to waylay the Irish mail train.
When the coster's finished jumping on his mother. Supposing I were to tell you that a red sports car similar to yours was seen in the area around Bedhampton just before the robbery.
I should ask if it had the same number plates as mine.
He loves to lie basking in the sun. Number plates can be changed.
You'll have to do better than that, Chief Inspector.
Or take one consideration with another. A policeman's lot is not a happy one. Do you own a revolver, Mr. Malilowski?
Certainly. I have a revolver and an automatic pistol. Both with proper licenses.
Where are they now?
The pistol is in the pocket of my car, and the revolver in a drawer at my flat.
You're right about the revolver, but about this.
Where did you get this from?
The basement area near Bertram's hotel. It was used last night to shoot Michael Gorman, the commissionaire.
I see. So now I'm guilty of murder as well as robbery. This is ridiculous. Why should I kill that pathetic old war relic?
The bullet wasn't intended for him. It was intended for a young lady. Someone I believe you know. Elvira Blake.
Why should I kill the girl that I'm going to marry? Apart from any romantic qualms, I'd hardly did you fortune.
Unless you were married to her already. Then you'd inherit it.
Good try, Chief Inspector, but wrong again. I was playing poker last night. Any other suspects?
A mother, perhaps?
Bess, kill her own daughter.
She's next of kin?
She gets enough money from her American ex.
Enough is not the same as a fortune. She might have had an additional motive. Suppose her daughter was about to marry the man that she loved.
Now I've heard everything. All right, all right. Bess and I have been lovers. It was never serious.
On your part, perhaps.
What a hoot. Trish Gormsby Smythe at a hunt ball. She looks like a horse herself.
Why did you tell them you didn't know Ladislaus? You don't have to lie to me. He's no good, Elvira. He's using you.
You say that because you're jealous. I know about you and him.
Darling, that meant nothing.
Well, this means everything.
I know what it's like. When I was your age, I thought I was in love with someone.
How can you compare what you felt for that revolting Irishman with what I feel for Ladislaus? You don't know what it is to love someone. The way I love him.
Canon Pennyfather. Oh, the answer to my prayers. Oh, fully recovered, I trust.
How kind. I've come to fetch. Oh, what was it now? Oh, yes, my luggage.
Well, before you go, I wonder, would you take part in a little experiment?
Yes.
Five, 6, 7, 8. Oh, thank you, Canon. That will do nicely.
Was it all right?
Oh, it wasn't you I saw that night. No, he looked like you, but the walk was different, and I think it was a younger man.
You mean I didn't come back here.
Oh, yes, you came back. There's no question of that. You must have come upstairs without anyone noticing you. And then what happened? You opened the door, so... And what did you see?
I'm sorry, it's still a complete blank.
Something in the mirror, perhaps.
Mirror, mirror. Yes, that's it. Except...
There is no mirror visible from the door. My room is identical to the one you had. What you saw was someone dressed up to look like you.
Yes, by George, I remember now. I couldn't think what... And then...
And then someone hit you on the head, and the false Canon Pennyfather, your doppelganger, was driven post-haste to Bedhampton. And you say that the couple who found him in the road were in on it too?
Oh, I've no doubt about it. There's a network of contacts throughout the country.
Really? Well, I'm very sorry if I misled you, Chief Inspector, but I might have known that it wasn't Canon Pennyfather.
Oh, a perfectly natural mistake, and one they've been trading on. Not only Justice Ludgrove, but an admiral and an archdeacon, all with distinctive appearances, all near the scene of the robbery. And while we've been running round in circles, the impersonator returns to normal. Well, thank you very much for coming in, Miss Marple.
Well, I think it's a very complicated way of doing things.
Well, the person behind all this is a very complicated character.
And you know who it is?
At long last. I only wish I knew who'd murdered Michael Gorman. Then I could clear the whole thing up in one fell swoop.
Well, if I might make a suggestion, Chief Inspector, of course, I might be barking up the wrong tree again.
I doubt it, Miss Marple.
But I think you'll find the answer lies in a place called Ballygowan.
Good afternoon, madam. Your table's ready.
Oh,
thank you.
Right, now we'll go straight to Bertram's.
Do you want to handle this on your own, sir, or would you like me to come along?
Oh, I want you to supervise the other arrangements.
You sure you won't need someone?
Yes, I'll have Miss Marple.
Come in, sit down.
Let me sit over there.
Would you like me to fetch Elvira?
It's you I want to speak to, Lady Sedgwick.
Have you any news of the man who tried to shoot her? Please.
Not what you call news. Tell me, Lady Sedgwick, how much did that business upset you?
What a question. I was sad, of course, but as I only knew the man to nod to, my concern was...
You're sure? What? I think you knew him rather better than that. Wasn't he your husband?
Oh, dear. You police aren't as slow-witted as people make out. All right, we were married once, but I hadn't seen him for 30 years. He was a groom on my parents' estate. I ran away with him when I was younger than Elvira. First 24 hours were enough to disillusion me, drunken brute. Fortunately, my family caught up with us and paid Mickey off.
And you didn't tell him that you'd married him?
Not on your Nelly.
So when you married Lord Coniston, you committed bigamy?
And when I married Ridgway Becker and Johnny Sedgwick, bigamy, trigamy, what's the difference? Scotch.
No, thank you.
Did you never think of getting a divorce?
Why rake that all up?
And then Gorman turned up here and tried to blackmail you?
That is pure supposition, Chief Inspector.
Oh, no. We have it on excellent authority.
How on earth could you know?
The chairs in the writing room have very high backs.
Eavesdropping, eh?
It is a public room.
She wasn't the only person that overheard your conversation.
Not Selina Hazy. It'll be all round London.
No, Lady Sedgwick. Your daughter.
Oh, my God, what must she have thought?
Enough to do as we have done. Go over to Ireland and search out the truth.
I must talk to her, explain.
Oh, you might reassure her that she wasn't the intended murder victim. Well, that's how it appeared to her. That's how the murderer wanted it to look. He fired a shot, taking care that the bullet went nowhere near her. She screamed. Gorman ran down the road. And then the murderer shot the person he always wanted to shoot. Michael Gorman.
I'm glad you said he, Chief Inspector. For a moment, I thought you were about to accuse me.
Oh, there's plenty of people besides yourself with a motive to bump him off. After all, Bertram's is a blackmailer's paradise, isn't it?
Bertram's?
Well, it's the headquarters for one of the biggest crime syndicates we've ever known.
Dear old Bertram's? It's the most respectable place in London.
And a lot of money and time have gone into making it so. The genuine and the phony all mixed up in a superb actor manager in Henry.
But Henry is Bertram's.
Humphreys is wonderfully plausible, too. Not to mention Miss Gorringe and Rose Shelton and all those foreign visitors with their luxury luggage, tailor-made for carrying money in and out of the country. Now, take those cabins that was
Oh, those dreadful Americans. Don't tell me they're crooks.
They left with £300,000 stashed away in their wardrobe.
Oh, but of course.
Proceeds from the Irish mail robbery. An affair in which your friend, Ladislaus Malinowski, was up to his neck.
Ladislaus?
Which Michael Gorman must have known. And which you know too, Lady Sedgwick.
How on earth should I know?
Because you're the brains behind it all.
Me? A master criminal?
Why not? You've tried most things. Oh, it wasn't the money that tempted you. No, it was the excitement. The challenge. Where are you going?
To ring my solicitor.
You'd be well advised.
On second thoughts, what the hell? Yes, I ran the show. And I've loved every crazy minute of it. I haven't had such fun since I sabotaged the Royal Tournament. But you're wrong about Ladislaus shooting Michael Gorman. He didn't, I did. I warned him I'd shoot him if he started anything. You heard me, didn't you, Miss Marple, in the writing room that day?
Yes.
And that's what I did. Just as you described it. I'd spent the day before with Ladislaus. I pinched the pistol from his car. It was so easy. Remember, Miss Marple, you're a witness to what I'm saying. I killed Michael Gorman. And now, catch me if you can.
So she won't get away.
I wouldn't be too sure. Where's the car?
Around the back.
Right.
What are you doing? Help!
At least she told her story first. You heard of Miss Marple. She confessed to Gorman's murder.
Yes, I heard.
Well, we'd better go and talk to the young lady.
Yes.
Come in.
I'm so sorry.
Don't ask me how I feel. I can't feel anything.
I believe Miss Marple told you that your mother had confessed to Michael Gorman's murder.
Yes.
Now that you've had time to think, Elvira, is there anything you'd like to tell us?
No, nothing.
Are you sure?
Quite sure.
Oh, what a pretty sachet. I had one like this when I was your age. I kept my diary in it. No! A diary in which I used to write everything I did. Are you sure there's nothing you want to tell the Chief Inspector?
You old witch! All right. So what? So bloody what? Why shouldn't she take the blame? That's all she ever did for me. I hated her! Hated her! No. Please. Or I'll lose him. And he does love me. I know he does.
I don't know. Are you a witch, Miss Marple?
Oh, no.
When did you suspect?
Oh, when I saw them together. Such passion. It was the money, I suppose.
She feared Malinowski wouldn't marry her without it.
It's extraordinary. He even looked like Basil Twisk.
So you said. When she found that her mother had married Gorman, she realized that the marriage to her father was illegal. She thought she wouldn't inherit. No money, no lover.
And I suppose her mother guessed.
And confessed to the murder so that her daughter could go free.
A remarkable woman. Poor Bertrams. It's always sad when a work of art has to be destroyed. It's like when you get that weed ground elder really badly in a garden border. There's nothing you can do but dig the whole lot up.